the moment Clough kissed you on a TV screen after the game against Everton. I'm just trying to imagine you standing there when one of the most famous faces in football just leans over across and just kisses you. I mean,
I was shocked, and actually, I got to be honest, I didn't handle it very well. And there's a shot of me bouncing all over the place. What had happened, actually, basically, I'll keep it short, was that we only had 30 seconds it was a midweek match, and it was just before Nottingham Forest were playing at Wembley in the League Cup final. It was a midweek match, and I only had 30 seconds because we're going into news at 10, and they said, you've got to stick with it. And Clough had promised me an interview, whatever the result. So he comes bounding off. They've lost heavily, and they've played awful. They were awful. And he still gave me the interview. And I started off by saying, trying to make it easy for him because I didn't want to stuff him. He'd given me the interview and they'd lost and played badly. I said, was that down to the fact that you're soon going to be playing at Wembley? And Cloughie said, no, only Albert is sure of his place on the coach to Wembley. And I got annoyed. I thought, they haven't got an Albert, doing my homework. I said, you haven't got an Albert? He said, yes, we have. He's the driver. Oh, I thought, oh, no. So I got a bit annoyed and a bit unprofessional. I pushed him a bit too hard. And I overran, which is the worst thing you could do. I started to ask another question. And the floor manager, Trevor East, the head of ITV Sport, who's a great colleague of mine, he's going potty at me in my earpiece. And Stan Harding, the floor manager's going potty, and Cloughie can see him. And he understood television, Cloughie. So he grabbed me and he said, why are we so bad? Because we're a bunch of pansies like you and me, and gave me this huge kiss. Well, I mean, it was unbelievable. And the sports editors were watching the programme because it was live. In London, they got their reporters to come around. Was he drunk? And I said, no, he loves me. It's the only thing I could think of. But actually, I'm told that northern comedians started telling much more vulgar jokes about a kiss, speculating where his tongue went and all sorts of things I better not go into on a nice programme like this.
Things that are like agents, which didn't really exist at that time. And you had stories of Cloughie. This was in particular about signing Roy McFarland, who Liverpool wanted at the time.
Yes.
And he and Peter Taylor just rock up at his house at 11:30 at night. I mean, the state of confusion. McFarland was in bed, and he's just like, well, we're here to sign you.
Yes, I mean, I think it might have even been later than that, but it doesn't matter. It's late, and McFarland's played. It was a Friday, and he's gone up to bed. He's in his pajamas. The front doorbell goes. His parents answer it in their dressing gowns, and there's Clough and Taylor. They'd done the deal with Tranmere. Now they had to persuade the player to sign. So Roy McFarland comes down, there's two gentlemen to see you, and they start talking to him, and he's not sure, and he turns to his father, and his father says, listen, if they want you that badly, sign it. So he's about to sign it, and then he thinks, no, I'm going to Liverpool tomorrow. I know that Shankly wants me. I'm going to watch the match with my mate. I'll try and stall it. And Taylor slides the contract under his nose, McFarland's nose, and says, listen to your dad. You got to sign now. We can't wait till tomorrow. So he signs. And then he goes to Liverpool the next day and they win 5-0. And he thinks, what have I done? What have I done? Anyway, he said what he did changed his life and his career because they started winning big time. And he played for England. So it was a great move for McFarland, who I'm still in touch with. He's an ambassador at Derby County. And then he wanted to sign Archie Gemmill from Preston, so he slept on the Gemmill family sofa all night until Gemmill signed the next morning. I mean, amazing. And Clough could not have coped with agents. There was one agent who he's just looks after Gary Lineker and a few of the great broadcasters.
Yeah, I know.
Called John Holmes, a lifelong friend of mine. He used to do my finances actually before he became an agent. He took Gary McAllister to meet Clough with a view to signing, and Clough behaved so badly that Holmes and McAllister just walked out and never signed for him. But he wouldn't have been able to cope with agents.